Hi, and thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today's is actually quite a quick one. I grabbed my summer porch collection. I only have the page kit and the ephemera pack from this. I have the page kit because there was a bit missing from one of my deliveries, so I couldn't sell it obviously, so I kept it for me because I love this collection anyway. And the photo is it's a 4x6 photo, but I added it to my notes and then printed it from there on my iPhone, and it made it slightly smaller than 4x6. And it's of us at Crosby Beach, which is a local beach this week. Amelia had a project to do for photography, and it had to be done at a beach, so we chose Crosby, and it was perfect. It was a really nice, blustery, but not too overcast day, and the beach was nice and empty. We went about 4 o'clock. It's a tidal beach, so we had to make sure that we didn't go at high tide because we wouldn't have seen any of the beach. And it's one where Anthony Gormley has his statues of men all the way along the beach, so it's a really nice, interesting beach to visit. So I just snapped this picture of Ross, Amelia and James. Amelia with her camera, well, it was my camera that she uses for her photography, and you can see I'm just building up layers. So I pulled this background paper, which is one of the page kits, but I haven't followed the instructions for this page. I'm just going my own way. So I started with some of the ephemera pieces from the page kit, and I've just added them as layers behind. You can see there was that one layered piece which has the red and the navy blue diagonal stripes, and then there was another red gingham which I've used as mats behind the photo, and then I'm just pulling a couple of these chipboard frames, the black ones, to add behind the photo, and then I've got that red diagonal stripe frame as well from the die cuts. You can see them to the left of the screen there. There was also this lovely black flag that says "Together, Always and Forever." So I thought that would work nicely for a picture of my family. And then this lovely star with a faux staple in the middle. So, and also a starfish. I'm just pulling bits and pieces out which I think are going to work. It takes me a little while to work out how I'm going to create this page, but I'm thrilled with how it turns out in the end. So just, you can see, just touching and deciding here, and I think, right, I'll start sticking some of the bits down that I know that they're going to sit where they are. I'm more or less trying to create a vertical strip across the page, having a horizontal strip across the page, having a vertical photo, a portrait photo. So I'm just using my T-square ruler there to check that everything's straight, and then bringing in some foam pads because, like I say, those black frames are chipboard, so I'm just having to raise the photo up onto foam pads to make sure that it sits nicely on top of those frames. So I'm not adding too many, just a few about the place just to hold it up, and then I'll carry on embellishing. And like I say, I've literally just used the page kit and then pulled in some bits from the ephemera pack from the 49er Market Summer Porch collection. I'm still playing about with that flag. It doesn't sit on the right hand side, it does move over to the left in the end. I'm just going to sit it there, it works nicely. And then I've just got this circular, I don't know why I was determined that I was going to use that on this layout, this little circular journaling piece. So just adding some foam behind that flag to make sure that it sits nicely, and then obviously glue to hold it in place on top of the frame. I glue this down. I'm a little bit premature with that because I do have to pull it up to add something under it, but that happens sometimes. So now back to the chipboard sheet, and I find this lovely camera, and of course I have to have a camera on there with the story being about Amelia's A-level photography and also the fact that she's holding her camera. And then just adding some more foam behind just to make sure that that stays up. So I spotted this gorgeous white arrow, so I want to use that on the page. I'm just going to overlap that onto the chevron frame just so that it shows up, because obviously I've got white on white there at the moment. And then this red arrow I decided to move over to the right hand side just to mirror that white one. So these are the ephemera bits that I've got left in this collection. I found this just beachy straight away, so I'm going to add that. I'm just gluing that arrow down. Again, while I realise where things are going to sit, I'm going to glue them. And I'm just being conscious that I don't want to cover that title, which says "So Totally Happy," going around the circle at the bottom. So adding that book plate at the bottom of the photo, and then just playing about with bits at the top. I just want to build the layout up at the top a little bit. So I found this piece that says Just Beachy, and I think that's going to work nicely. So once again, it needs foam to hold it up because the photo's popped up on foam. And I definitely need something to the left of that just to bring a little bit more height. So I'm just looking through, and then I find this journaling spot, but that's going to work really nicely just as a mat really to hold some other bits. So I'm going to pop that there. At first I think I'm going to have my journaling there, but that changes as I build things up here. So I like that circle up there, so that's going to go up there as well. Like I say, just wanted to build some height, but also keep that circular movement at the top. And then this black bow is just going to finish that off nicely. I'm going to add my date to that tan circle in due course. But just looking through to see what else I can add. Still determined to add a tab at the top there. And I really like this Our Happy Place. So this is where I'm going to have to pull that star up so that I can get that glued down. And then just move that star up ever so slightly. It doesn't matter, you can't see where I've pulled it up because it's only been moved up a little bit. But I just like the, again, that horizontal line that word phrase provides going across out from the photo. So there we are, you'd never know. So just adding some foam pads here, just again to make sure that everything's where it should be. So I'm still playing about with this red banner piece, but that doesn't actually make the layout in the end. I just wasn't happy with wherever I tried to put it. I really struggle with pieces that aren't straight when I'm adding embellishments like that, unless it's a circle or something, but when it's curved like that, unless I can find somewhere to tuck it into neatly, it doesn't seem to fit for me. So I'm just adding a few more bits from the chipboard sheet. You saw there was that Only Good Vibes chipboard sticker to the right underneath that circle, and then a lovely tab that says Love This at the top, and then I'm just pulling off some of these little chipboard buttons just to embellish on either side. And that, like I say again, it draws the eye out across that horizontal line that I'm looking for. So there's the date that I mentioned. I've just stamped that on top of the that grey circle there, and then my journaling has gone around the bottom edge of the circle. So I still wanted to use this red piece. It just says a little adventure, and it was a little adventure, so I'm going to run it down the right hand side of the photo, and then this little piece that I cut off is going to go above that little flag banner that says Together Always and Forever. So there's that bit there, and then this piece here, and I like that addition of that red there, just pulling the eye across to the left. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's provided some inspiration. You don't always have to use a page kit the way it's prescribed. Go your own way. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye.